Greece. He is on exhilarating trip with his friends. They're swimming in the sea and there are strong tides, waves. And guess what happens to Ivan? He starts struggling with the water and starts drowning. Because of the waves and the tides, he is pushed away, far away from where his friends can see him. Luckily, he sees a ball, a soccer ball, hangs onto it, firmly grabs it, and spends 18 hours until he gets rescued. 80 miles away, 10 days earlier, there were kids playing soccer. And they kicked the ball and fell off the cliff. Some 100 kilometers from 80, that would be 130 kilometers. That ball saved Ivan. When I thought about this story, again recounted by Brian Cass in his book Flukes, where he talks about everything we do gets to affects each other in ways we would never think it does. What you do today, what I do, what you do, the words you say, the actions you do are having an effect on someone you never thought they would. And this got me to think, now that we're in July, I don't know if some of you are revisiting your New Year's resolutions. I got to revisit them. Like, how far am I with my goals? If I got to ask myself, am I reacting to other people's actions, or am I creating the kind of life I want? And there are three principles I followed so far. The first one, not choosing is still a choice. If you haven't written down your goals, haven't set your goals, you have decided not to set your goals. You've made a decision. And this made me, I realized this a few years ago when I wanted to sit down with my uncle and ask him, he's a man of people I admire, how did you reach all these achievements, all these houses? And he told me, you know what? Do you know that you earn a higher salary than I do? Like, there is no way. And yet I don't have what you have. He told me something that stuck with me until now. He said, well, I had set big goals, and all my energy and my resources were only serving those goals. It made me rethink, what are my big goals? What are my ambitions? How can I use the resources, the time, the money towards achieving those goals? A research done by Dr. Matthew at the Dominican University of Colombia, it shows 3% of people only write down their goals. That makes 97% of us just going with the flow. And guess what? People who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them. And that brings me to the second principle. Breaking down your goals will help you achieve the results you want. And one thing to do this, break down your goal up to 5 priorities. And that's what Sahil Bloom in his book, The 5 Types of Wealth, recommends. What are your 5 main priorities? For myself, one thing that my career has really ruined is my social life. So this year, I decided, hey, you know what? Let me go back to cooking. Taking up some cooking classes, fancy cooking classes. Get to invite friends over. I realize it's making me reconnect with my friends. Hey, if you behave well, maybe I'll cook for you. If you get to break down your goals, find the main priorities. Is it family? Is it career? Then the money, the time, the energy, focus on more of those goals. It will help you achieve those goals. The third principle, recharging will help you keep at your peak performance. We're living in the era of hustler. Being a hustler is an honor. Working sleepless nights. Yeah, guess what? The more exhausted you are, it will affect your performance. So take time to recharge. It could be a retreat. It could be some time alone. It could be a hike. Myself, I like recharging by doing an intense sport such as martial arts or doing a hike. It helps me recharge. Now back to our story. Ivan got saved by some kids' soccer ball. The kids did not know that the ball was going to save someone's life. Everything you do, the words you say, that post you put on social media, Instagram, WhatsApp, someone will read it and it will have an effect on them. Those goals you set to achieve, if you set up the exemplary person you want to be, it will probably help someone. Hey, I also can do that. Just like the way my uncle inspired me to reach what he did. So your goals matter more than you think.